Hey skiers, I'm Jeff from skiessentials.com. Welcome to our 2024 ski test. Today we're talking about the Armada Locator 96. This is the narrowest ski in the Locator collection at 96 underfoot. Still a really good backcountry touring ski, and I think still with a softer snow or at least off-piste mentality. There is kind of this growing popularity in touring and just coming down a groomer, which is great for people that want to just go out and get exercise. This ski feels more like an exploratory ski, like you're really going out and seeking out new zones and you're skiing a little bit more technical terrain than somebody who would just ski a groomer. And I think you'll see reasons why when we talk about shape and construction and all that kind of stuff. So starting with construction, this ski is very light. Caruba wood core in here, carbon reinforcements, and then there's even a little bit of Titanal underfoot. It's really mostly for binding retention, but anytime you're throwing layers of Titanal in a ski, even if it's just focused in that portion of the ski, you're getting a little bit better vibration damping, which for most skiers comes through in the form of better stability. Just under 1,400 grams. Yeah, we're leveling off at just about 1,400 exactly. This is let me double check, I don't want to misquote. This is a 178 centimeter length. So this is a pretty long ski for achieving a 1,400 gram weight, especially when you look at its flex pattern. You know, this is a pretty strong ski. The tip is kind of cool. I think it's translucent, or at least it's intended to be translucent. You can just barely see the amount of carbon that they have running through this ski, and I do think that's adding a lot to this ski's strength. It's got a pretty darn strong flex pattern, so it is light, it is agile. We'll talk a little bit more about that in a second here, but there's some strength to it as well. These are fully directional skis, so Armada is really mostly known for their twin tip skis, at least as history would speak. This, along with like declivity skis, are sort of marking a new focus for the brand on directional skis, although they still make some of the best twin tips in the world as well. So much more tip rocker up here than tail rocker. You know, it's a little bit exaggerated by the fact that it's not a twin tip, but considering it's not a twin tip, there still is more rocker in the tip of this ski than in the tail. You know, I'm probably confusing you, but if it was a twin tip and this extended a little bit further, it would look a little bit more balanced, but it still is a fully directional shape. 96 underfoot here, and we're at a 21 meter turn radius, which I think is quite interesting. So you get that rocker, you get 21 meters for a turn radius, and what happens there, I think like this is more obvious for consumers or for skiers when you get up into wider skis. Longer turn radii typically result in a more maneuverable ski in how you can release the tail edge. So turn radius is a funny thing. When you put a really short turn radius in a ski, it makes a lot of really quick carving turns and is very reactive. When you put a long radius in a ski, it allows for easier tail edge release specifically. So in this ski, with that rocker shape and the amount of taper that they build into the ski as well, and that 21 meter turn radius, it's quite agile and quite maneuverable. It does not make like round responsive carves. That's not what it's designed for at all, but it kind of dances and bounces down terrain with a highly maneuverable nature, and with that weight figure, it's really easy to flick around too. So Locator 96, to me, we're kind of narrow at this point for true powder conditions. So the Locator line is really cool, and it's easy to choose which ski is going to be right for you, and the way to do that is just to think about the snow conditions that you're skiing. So here we are, you've decided that you want a touring ski, you've landed on the Locator collection for Armada, or at least you're considering it. here in Stowe, Vermont, 96 or 104 would be the way to go. And I feel like for most skiers, 96 would probably be the better choice. Most of our ski days here in Stowe, there's not like a crazy amount of fresh snow. You might get a dusting overnight. You might get 2 to 3 inches. That happens all the time, but it's not like a lot of depth. So 96 feels like a really good choice because it's going to be quicker edge to edge, a little bit more responsive, and just better in that kind of low snow terrain or low snow conditions. You could obviously bump up to the 104 too. And then for kind of a Western skier, I feel like most are going to go 104 or 112 because you're in softer, deeper snow more often, leaving this ski for a Western skier more focused on somebody with honestly with more of like a mountaineering mindset. Like you truly are going out on an adventure and you want your skis to be lighter. You know, this is like 300 grams lighter than a Locator 112, that's a consideration when you're heading out into the backcountry, how much your skis weigh. So yeah, I don't want to like say that if you're out west, you shouldn't be skiing a Locator 96. You're just likely a slightly different skier than somebody that would choose the 112. So great line of skis in general. I like the different width options for sure. I think they hit some nice sweet spots for where they put the widths of these skis. Definitely let us know if you have any questions about it. More than happy to talk more about these skis. You can head on over to the Ski Essentials site too and read more reactions from different testers. So yeah, that's it. That's the Locator 96. We will see you out there on the slopes.